One morning, I woke up before my alarm. Sunlight streamed through the window, painting a warm stripe across the floor. I instinctively reached for my phone, my mind already bracing for the usual flood of notifications. Messages, emails, meeting reminders, a digital torrent that defined my every waking moment. My life was a relentless cycle of tasks and deadlines. But that morning, something shifted. I looked at the screen, at the list of demands, and a quiet but firm thought surfaced. No, not today. Today, I would not work. I would simply be. The idea felt both liberating and terrifying. It was a rebellion against the very rhythm of my life. I pushed myself out of bed and went to the kitchen. The familiar ritual of making coffee felt different, more deliberate. The rich aroma filled the small space, a comforting scent that I rarely took the time to appreciate. I sat by the window, cradling the warm mug, and watched the world outside. Cars zipped past, people hurried along the sidewalks, each a character in a story of urgency. But for the first time in a long time, I was not part of that story. I was just an observer, and in that stillness, I found a strange sense of peace. I took a slow, deep breath and smiled. After my unhurried breakfast, my eyes fell on the bookshelf. I pulled out an old favorite, a novel whose pages had yellowed with time. The spine was soft, and it fell open to a bookmarked page. I settled into my most comfortable chair and began to read. The world outside my window faded away, replaced by the world within the pages. Hours drifted by unmarked by the frantic ticking of a clock. I was completely lost in the narrative, a feeling I hadn't experienced since I was much younger. It felt like reconnecting with a forgotten part of myself. Later, I felt the urge to go outside. I slipped on my shoes and stepped into the cool, fresh air. The sun was gentle on my skin. I walked with no destination in mind, my feet leading me down familiar streets that suddenly looked new. I noticed the deep green of the leaves on the trees, the vibrant colors of flowers in a window box, the sound of birds singing overhead. It was all so beautiful, so calm. My leisurely stroll led me to a small corner, cafe I had passed 1,000 times, but never entered. The scent of baking bread was irresistible. I ordered a cup of tea and found a quiet table. The atmosphere was peaceful. People were scattered around, some chatting softly, others reading, some simply lost in thought like me. I watched them and my own life came into focus. I saw years of constant work, of being perpetually busy, perpetually tired. I had traded time for myself for the illusion of productivity. But today was an interruption, a pause in that relentless pursuit. Today I felt free. I felt light. I realized I needed more days like this. Not just wanted, but truly needed them. When I finished my tea, I walked home. The streets were still bustling, but my perception had changed. I wasn't anxious about the emails piling up or the work I was ignoring. My mind was filled with simpler things, the taste of the tea, the comfort of the old book, the warmth of the sun. These small, simple pleasures were what made life beautiful. Back in my apartment, I watched the sun set, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and pink. I took another deep breath. Today I hadn't worked, but I had truly lived. And I knew, with absolute certainty, that I needed to make room for more life in my life. The evening air was soft and cool as it drifted through the open window. I stretched out on the couch, my body feeling relaxed for the first time in ages. My phone lay on the table, silent and dark. It was a symbol of my temporary disconnect from the world of demands. I felt a profound sense of peace. I had dedicated an entire day to myself, and it felt like a revelation. A smile touched my lips as I replayed the simple moments. Feeling a gentle spark of creativity, I walked to the kitchen. Cooking was another passion I had long neglected, always opting for quick meals or takeout. I opened the refrigerator and decided to make something from scratch. I pulled out fresh vegetables, herbs, and some rice. The kitchen, usually a place of haste, became a quiet sanctuary. The rhythmic chop of the knife, the sizzle of vegetables in the pan, the fragrant steam rising into the air, it was a form of meditation. While I cooked, I reflected on my typical day, waking up to check emails, rushing through breakfast, diving into a relentless workday where my mind never stopped. Today, I had intentionally slowed everything down, and it felt incredible. I set the table for one and sat down to eat. The meal looked vibrant and smelled delicious. I took the first bite and closed my eyes, savoring the complex flavors. I had cooked this meal with care and attention, and I enjoyed it with the same mindfulness. There was no rush. There was only the present moment and the simple pleasure of a good, home-cooked meal. After dinner, I washed the dishes. The warm water on my hands felt soothing. Even this chore felt different, not a task to be completed, but a quiet, concluding part of a peaceful evening. Later, I returned to my bookshelf. So many unread stories, so many worlds waiting to be discovered. I picked another book and settled back on the couch. The words were like music, carrying me away to another place and time. I let myself be completely absorbed, forgetting everything else. When I finally looked up, the house was dark except for my reading lamp. I turned it off and went to the window. The night sky was a deep, velvety blue sprinkled with stars. The world outside was quiet. I stretched my arms, feeling a deep sense of contentment. It had been a good day, a day for me. I went to bed feeling light and unburdened, my mind calm and my body at ease. I had learned a vital lesson. Life wasn't just about achieving and producing. It was about resting, enjoying, and appreciating the small, beautiful moments. And I knew I needed more days like this, more days to truly live.